Our guest joining us with us is Charu Pragya, spokesperson of the BJP. Anurag Naidu, author, is with us. Also with us is Sanjay Jha, author. Ashutosh Mishra, senior journalist, also joining us on the broadcast. Let me start with you first, Charu Pragya. You heard Akhilesh Yadav there, and this is pretty much what other opposition leaders are saying. That the BJP is raising these issues only because it's poll season, and rather than focus on developmental issues, on healthcare, on filling the stomachs really of the citizens, the focus instead on emotive issues only for votes is what they say. Your response to that, Charu Pragya.
Madam, a very good evening to you. Just because Bharatiya Janata Party is a party which does not leave behind Dharma while we work for the development of this nation, I think everybody in the opposition, if I can use the millennial word, they have FOMO. They start having a problem because we are able to connect to our roots effectively in a way which brings India's glorious past and our culture on a global platform, and at the same time make sure our country is on a fast track to rapid development. We are the fastest growing economy in the world, and it's happening for a reason. See, it's not just about giving back the lost glories of our historical religious places. It's also about giving an economic boom to these cities. We know how Kashi has transformed after the Vishwanath Dham was inaugurated recently. The corridor was made. We know how in Ayodhya everybody is clamoring to get a piece of land so they can start their business there. So I'm sorry, this is only a case of the opposition crying out because they cannot do anything else. Also, please tell me, Vishwakarma Yojana was launched. Isn't that about
Sanjay
employment?
Jha, I want Sanjay Jha to respond to that. Okay, we have a limited time debate now, Charu, so let me quickly take this across to Sanjay. Sanjay Jha, I want you to respond to her. This is something that the BJP believes in, development along with not leaving behind the core of Dharma. That's what Charu Pragya is saying. The opposition has not been able to deliver, and that's why they're crying hoarse now. Your response, Sanjay Jha.
I'll give you a short response, Madhav. Mr. Narendra Modi has been the most disastrous prime minister in India's history. The data on economics, the data on the divided society, the data on corruption, the data on governance is out there for the world to see. And let me just tell the BJP spokesperson and Mr. Narendra Modi through your channel, stop spreading fake news in India. By the way, Madhav, do people know that there are over 2 million temples in India since 2001? 2 million temples. I'm talking about Hindu god temples. So what is Narendra Modi lying for? You see, the man is so desperate. You know, he knows he's seeing the writing on the wall. The defeat is
Mr. Jha, you will surely agree with me that the importance of these temples that we're talking about, whether it's Kashi Vishwanath, whether it's the Ram temple, whether it is the Krishna Janmabhoomi, these are very, very essential to the faith of Hindus. I'm sure you will also agree to that. And therefore, the BJP is saying that these are issues that have been vexed for very long, for whatever reasons, but they are being resolved now. That's what the BJP is saying.
Madhav, let me tell you how duplicitous and absolutely immoral this party is. The verdict on Ayodhya took time. It was a complex historical case. We all know both sides had their arguments. The Supreme Court gave a verdict. Can you imagine this political party, intellectually defunct, morally compromised, is actually taking advantage of a Supreme Court verdict and trying to convert it into a political weapon? This party is a disgrace. I mean, they should hang their heads in shame for believing that Indians can't see through the street.
I want Anurag Naidu to respond to that. Anurag Naidu, it's all what has been done by the court. It is no credit goes to the BJP, says Sanjay Jha. Please respond to him.
BJP also never took the credit of the court verdict. Let's be very honest about it. Madhav, you have mentioned about the statement of Akhilesh Yadav telling that there is a poverty, unemployment, everything. Madhav, you know what is the worst form of poverty? The worst form of poverty is spiritual poverty. Now, India's entire basis of civilization is dependent on the spiritual ethos of this country. And what Mr. Sanjay Jha is speaking about, the economic, the worst prime minister, you know what is the amount of GDP expenditure on healthcare? It is more than 2%, more than $105 billion is what India spends on, the central government spends on healthcare. Against what the central government has spent on the temple, I challenge my dear friend Sanjay Jha to get me the data, how much spending the central government has done on revamping of this temple. Revamping of Ram Mandir in Ayodhya happens voluntarily by the donations collected all across the country. Institutions, people have donated, and that's why Ram Mandir is being formed. Ram Mandir is not from the central treasury. So let's be very honest. The Kashi corridor, Ujjain corridor, Somnath corridor, Kedarnath corridor,
Madhav.
Ram Mandir corridor, Char Dham is such a tourism boost to the country, Char Dham Yatra. And let's also not forget, Prime Minister Modi is the first Prime Minister to inaugurate a temple in Abu Dhabi. Can you ever imagine there would be a temple in United
Madhav,
Arab
quick
Emirates?
response.
So India has made it happen, at least to support the spiritual needs of the people, millions of people who are staying in United Arab Emirates and the Gulf. We have a beautiful temple there. It doesn't start. There are going to be more temples. You go out to the West and take photos and selfies from the most modern churches there and post it on Instagram. Why don't you do the same with the beautiful corridors of Ujjain and Kashi?
Madhav, a quick
It's about
response.
the ideology.
All right, I'm going to slip into a quick break. Ashutosh Mishra, I'm going to request you to stay on with us. I'm going to come back to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, in just a minute, slipping into a very quick break.